everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to continue with the group predictions, and this group prediction is for twice to figure out how their year will be for 2025. And I would like to introduce you to my little crochet penguin. I made her when I was learning how to crochet some like bigger plushies. And look at her little feet, her little beak. And she does have a bald spot, but we're covering it with a stone so it doesn't look that bad. If you want to see it, right there is a stone. It's like an obsidian. It's a black stone with like some white dots on it. Anyway, with that out of the way, we are gonna have like 4 different sections for this reading. We're going to have the current energy that the group is in. We're going to check the group predictions for their career this year and also the individual ones. And then lastly, we're just gonna have any advice or any messages that come through. Do you see my penguin? Isn't it so cute? Anyway. Now she's gonna go away, so we have the space for us to answer these questions. So let's figure out what is Toy's current energy right now. How are they doing? What's going on? Oh, so we have the Knight of Cups reverse on the bottom, and I just hit the mic. I'm sorry. We have Strength reverse, Death reverse, and the Ace of Cups upright. So we have a lot of water with the cups right here. Let's see. So right now it feels like the group is going through one issue that I'm seeing right away is that maybe offers are not coming in the way that they want them, or like there's this sense of like maybe they haven't set their goals quite yet. So there's nothing concrete in that sense. There is also a sense of like resisting some sort of change that the group is going through, and that change that they're resisting is internal growth. And the way that I'm talking about this is that strength is supposed to, this is Leo energy. Actually, let's talk about the signs that we have here. We have Pisces energy with the Knight of Cups. We have Leo energy with strength, and then we have Scorpio energy with death. Anyway, so strength is supposed to talk about someone that is solving an issue in a very feminine-like way. So this feminine energy that usually comes through with the strength card is being eloquent, being charming, and solving an issue without violence, without having to take this very aggressive action towards solving an issue. So instead of fighting, it's like peace and love, that type of life. Now, with the strength card reverse, it feels like the group right now is leaning more towards their masculine energy. So many of them are being very proactive and aggressive and very forward and blunt with their approach and their way of achieving their goals. But I do feel that maybe a bit of advice here is that maybe they should like tone it down a little bit and reconnect with their emotions, so like that they get a bit more of a sense of self satisfaction rather than trying to accomplish success based on other people's ideas of success. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So one thing that I'm seeing is that even though there's nothing wrong with having a very proactive approach to something, their most effective one at the moment might be to kind of lay back a little bit from their actions and not push forward so aggressively. It's like kind of take a step back and see the scenery, see like what's going on, what the options are, seeing what the best approach could be rather than just kind of pushing forward to make them happen. So instead of like bulldozing through an obstacle, it's like, okay, let's take a step back and assess the situation and see if maybe there's other ways to solve this issue rather than just kind of like blunt force go through an issue or through a problem. Now, with the death card reverse, it feels like this is where the whole issue of like resisting change or resisting a transformation. So death is supposed to describe a death and a rebirth type of moment, a transformation. Metamorphosis just came up, and like the idea of like a butterfly that's going out of its cocoon. So someone that is growing, developing, and becoming a new version of themselves. Now, with this card being reversed, I do feel that many of them or the group right now may feel a bit held back or feel like they're not growing, and that reason is because they're putting a bit of resistance. So one of the reasons why they could be resisting is like maybe the change is one that might take a bit to bake, or the words that came up. So it might take a while for them to start seeing results, or it might take a while for things to kind of settle down, to have a solid foundation for them to kind of like push forward and like do things differently. So what I mean by that here is like, let's say that they need to slow down in order for the transformation to happen, but right now many of them may not be in the mentality to slow down for it. So that could be a way of like resisting this change and this transformation. There you go. Now, the other reason why they could be resisting this change is that maybe the lessons that have to be learned, analyzed, and gone through could be a bit difficult for them because it's like a sensitive topic, or it's something that they have to reflect on, that is going to be something that they really value, care for, and because of that they may want to put a lot of attention into, and maybe they don't have the time for it, or they don't have like the mental or heart space to go through that healing process. So I do feel that some of them could be going through those issues, and that's why the group may be in a bit of a standstill of sorts when it comes to their change and their transformation. And because of that, or maybe one of the reasons why they could also be resisting this change is because of this Knight of Cups reverse. So to me, the Knight of Cups has always talked about someone, like an offer that is being made. Now, when we talk about like a romantic sense, then the Knight of Cups could be talking about someone that is giving like a romantic offer, someone that is showing their heart. You know, they have their heart on their sleeve. They're being completely honest, romantic, and very charming. Now, with it being reversed and seeing this as a general energy for the group, I think many of them are in one of two states. Some of them are waiting for opportunities to come their way. Others of them are chasing after opportunities to, open up paths for them and getting those opportunities, seeking those opportunities out. But regardless of which position or which group each member is in, which mentality, energy, how are you going to see it, it's not working for either one. For the ones that are not taking action, it's not working because opportunities are not coming in. And for the people that are working very hard to get those opportunities for themselves, it's not working because those opportunities may not be what they're looking for. Or even if they're looking for an opportunity, it's still not really coming to them. So what I'm getting at is like that could also be like obstacle that the group is just facing in general, and one of the reasons why maybe things are not happening. But all of these cards being reversed, I do feel that there's a very big reason why that's the case, and it's something that is outside of their control, and it may be something to do with fate and destiny. So maybe that's why the whole group may feel a bit stagnant, a bit held back, and like things are not really moving forward. And I think that's on purpose. I don't really know what that purpose could be, but it's on purpose. Now, we have the Ace of Cups upright. Now, that's a very good card to have upright. That means that many of them are emotionally fulfilled, happy, satisfied, and they have an overflowing creativity going through. They're inspired, they're motivated, and because of that, even if things are at a standstill when it comes to their career, like nothing's really happening, projects and opportunities are not really concrete or offered to the point that they can say, oh yeah, we have this job. No, it's more like these projects are not really set on stone quite yet. There's still stuff that is up in the air and nothing is quite concrete. And because of that, that energy is stagnant. But at least, while that energy is stagnant, the group is in a state where they're getting along, they're all pretty satisfied with what they're doing, all of them are just kind of going with the flow, being pretty happy. Usually the Ace of Cups is supposed to show someone that has so much fulfillment, and their heart is so full of love and care and just filled with kindness, if you even want to put it that way, that it overflows to the point that it reaches other people. So since the group is doing okay, the people around them are looking at them very favorably. So I do feel that if opportunities are not going through, it's not because the group is in a bad state or like people don't want to work with them, as much as it's just like there's just not projects that are meant for them at the moment. So that's the energy for the group right now. So now let's go to the second question and figure out the group predictions for 2025. So we have faith in your dreams with waxing crescent moon, and we have what do you need to release with waning moon. So this just tells me that the group has big aspirations, big expectations, and some big dreams that they want to go through with. And because of that, maybe that's why we got the Knight of Cups reversed. It's like there's something that they want to do, or something that they want to work on, but they just haven't seen the opportunity, the window, or the wiggle room to make it happen. So I don't really know what that could be, but it definitely feels like that they have to just trust in the process, trust in divine timing, the whole idea. You know what? I talked about butterflies, and we have butterflies right here. So I'll see that almost as like a confirmation or a synchronicity to kind of like highlight in bold letters like, hey, transformation is important. It's very significant for the whole group at the moment. So I don't know if that transformation is like individually, if they work on themselves as a group, it will help, or if it's like maybe they have to change and shift the group's identity in such a way that it aligns better with who they want to be and who they are. Something along those lines. But have faith in your dreams just kind of shows that for their career this 2025, twice will benefit a lot, and just trusting that things are going to work out. So that makes me think that this year they may encounter a lot of times that they're working on a project or something and the process is not smooth sailing, or it doesn't go as they had planned or expected, but at the end of the day they do get the results that they were looking for. So that just makes me think that maybe there might be divine detours, or maybe there's a lot of times that they're working or towards a project and then something just like it falls apart, and maybe at the moment it's frustrating and they may worry about it, but then later on they notice that thanks to that project failing or maybe falling apart, like it doesn't go through, now they have this open window and space to take advantage of another opportunity or another project that is going to benefit them way more than the previous one that they were concerned about. So I do feel that they may encounter a lot of times where there's a lot of blessings in disguise. There's a wait, is that what it's called? Yeah, like whole idea of like maybe they encounter something that doesn't seem that good, but at the end of the day it was just like a way of protecting them and taking care of them and guiding them towards something that is a lot better for them. Now, with what do you need to release, this is giving very strong Scorpio energy, and I'm saying that because we talked about transformation in the death card, and the whole idea of the death card as well is like poking at that side of you that you need to get rid of in order to make space for that new version of yourself. So for the group, it definitely feels like there is a lot of like maybe burdens, baggage, and worries that they all carry, and by carrying that they are slowing themselves down and also closing themselves down to potential opportunities that can benefit them greatly as a group. So it definitely feels like it will be very beneficial for the whole group to do a little bit of self-reflection, a little bit of internal healing, or just looking at themselves and analyzing themselves as individuals, kind of talk it out as a group to figure out how they can aspire towards something together. And that will kind of also, I think, also help them realize that they're not alone with some of the fears and worries that they carry individually, and that they do have a group that they can rely on and work on. And maybe by doing all of that, it will create like this new light-hearted energy within the group. So what I'm saying here is like, it's not that the group doesn't get along, or it doesn't mean that they don't talk to each other anymore. It's just like, I think if the group just talk to each other about the things that they're afraid of, the things that they're worried about, they will start noticing that even if they're going on their own path and their own journey, they're still feeling similar emotions. And then they can have this sense of companionship and a sense of being able to rely on each other that will give them a stronger foundation to start taking risks into doing something new as a group. And that shift of energy will definitely benefit all of them to continue staying emotionally fulfilled and kind of like filling in that gap or that feeling that they felt they were missing. But now let's look at the individual career predictions. So I'll go in age order and I'll start with Nayan. So let's see. What's in store for Nayan's career this 2025? So we have good news and loss. That is actually hilarious because you see them and it feels like opposites. But I think this is like the whole point of what we have seen as for like the whole group, right? The good news, we have encouragement, miracle, and surprise. And the loss, we have bereavement, I don't know what that means, sorrow and damage. So again, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about divine detours. The whole idea of like something falls apart, and at the moment it can be stressful, but then it opens up the space and the time as well as the energy for something better that like it's offered. So with Nayeon, she's going to experience that in her career this 2025. Maybe there's something that she wanted to do, or a project that or opportunity that she was kind of chasing after, but it just doesn't happen. Like, it doesn't matter what she does or how she goes about it, it just doesn't pan out, it doesn't work. And then when it falls apart or she stops going after it, she's going to start noticing that now she has a time and space to grow. And that could be because another opportunity comes through, or maybe now she has the time to kind of go deep within her and kind of analyze, okay, why isn't it working and what can I do to change things and make things better. And maybe she will start going down her own healing process that could benefit her way more than if she had just chased an opportunity that was satisfying at the moment, but at the end of the day it was not going to pan out to anything bigger or greater for her in the long term. So that seems to be like the good thing here. Also, the other thing that I'm getting with this letter is I'm thinking of like a letter of acceptance. So maybe Nayan may enroll in school or in university of sorts, and if not, there she may get like an official invitation to something that she's always wanted, and that's the good news. I do feel that it's going to be quite last minute or something that it was very unexpected for her to the point that she may think it's a miracle or something. So I think she will definitely talk about it, or I think it's going to be very obvious to the fans that this is something very beneficial and very good for her. Now let's go on to the next person, which is Jonghyun's career prediction. So what's in store for Jonghyun this 2025? We have homeless. This makes me think that she's going to feel out of her element. She's going to not feel safe and secure this year. On the bottom we have robbery. So the reason why she may feel like that is because she may feel like there's opportunities that are being taken away from her. There is this sense of maybe things that she wants to do that just don't pan out, don't work out, or maybe there's this whole idea of like she feels like she has to do everything on her own. I'm getting like a very strong Five of Pentacles energy. The Five of Pentacles is this energy of someone that feels like they have to fend for themselves, do everything on their own, feel like they have been left on their own to figure things out. You know, they're out on the cold, there's like snow, and they don't have material possessions to help them and aid them down their journey. So this homeless card just makes me think that for Jonghyun this 2025, she's going, even if she is okay, like she has a home, she has a she's financially secure and everything, she will still feel like there's something missing with the robberies. Like she feels like there's something out there that's greater for her, better for her, and she just can't quite reach it. And because of that, there's this sense of like homeless, this whole idea of like she feels like she has to do everything on her own, or she feels like she just doesn't have the support to do what she wants to do. Or she may feel like there's opportunities out there for her that are not even being offered or given to her for whatever reason. So she may feel robbed because there's opportunities that are just not making it to her. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to blame the company for that one. But if it's not the company, then there's also a chance that maybe she doesn't feel good enough or secure enough or safe enough, if that makes sense, to take risk and take full advantage of these opportunities that are being offered to her. So let's say that maybe she's worried, she's concerned or afraid, and because of that she starts hesitating, and then she's not taking these opportunities, and she may feel robbed, or she may feel like she's kind of like she has to go out there and fend for herself, because it's like, okay, these opportunities go through, but I can't go through with them because I don't feel like in a good place to take them. And she can still feel like a bit overwhelmed, or a little bit like her mood could go down a little bit because of that. So what's in store for Momo's career this 2025? Seeing how long the cards are taking to come out, maybe Momo's going to get a lot of delays or something, and that will bother her a little bit. Now we have we have disturbance and robbery, which was at the bottom of the deck for Jonghyun. So like whatever we talked about earlier that Jonghyun is going to feel, Momo's going to feel it too. Like she's gonna be like, I get you, I'm on the same page too. But with the disturbance, I started laughing because you know how I mentioned that maybe things are slowing down for Momo, and I just thought it was funny. Like if you have this very heavy weight that you're carrying, you are going to slow down because you have to carry yourself and that burden. You know, it's heavy, it's a lot. So the disturbance card just made me laugh because I was like, I don't think Momo has like a spirit on her back, but I just see that as like baggage from the past. So I just thought it was funny, just the imagery that I got of Momo having to carry like this person on her shoulders like that. Like that's kind of funny. Anyway, but again, the disturbance and the robbery, it feels like Momo's going to feel a lot of delays in her career because a lot of things get interrupted. A lot there's always a lot of hiccups. There's always like an if, like there's always a person going like get in the way somehow. Always putting time and space towards the opportunities or the projects to go through. Like there's always someone getting in the way, or there's always something that makes a project fall apart or makes a project just not go as smoothly as it could. And I think that's something that will annoy Momo quite a bit. But yeah, the disturbance and robbery, I do feel that, I don't know, stealing her time were words that just came up. So maybe she feels like there's a lot of wasted time or space. Now, I don't know how Momo is necessarily, so in my eyes, I don't think Momo will be annoyed by something like that. But I think if it happens often enough, anyone will be annoyed by something like that. Like, it's kind of like, okay, I want to do something, but something always gets in the way. And it's a consistent pattern. So that's making me think that maybe this is a staff issue. Like maybe someone that is not organizing things properly makes it so like that everyone, so there's always an issue. Like there's always like, oh, this has to be done, this other thing has to be done, and because of that they can't, in this case Momo can't go through with a project because something always gets in the way. It's like, okay, now we have to do this, now we have to do this other thing. So it's like instead of just completing something, and it's like a straightforward line of like, okay, do this and you finish this, right? She can't because now she has to do all of these other things in between that kind of like distract her from just completing her goal or completing the project. So I do feel that this disturbance and robbery could be this whole idea of like maybe things are not organized properly or scheduled properly, so it's a lot more difficult to just complete things, and that's an issue. Anyway, so what's in store for Sana's career this 2025? We have alleviation. Nice. So with Sana, she feels supported, she feels secure, she feels devoted were the words that came up. So this makes me think that Sana trusts in herself, and she trusts in her skills and her ability to complete what she wants to complete and to do whatever she wants to do in life. And the other thing is that she trusts on her higher self, her spiritual team, fate, and destiny, that they have her back. She feels like things are in her favor. She feels there's this sense of like strong manifestation, maybe even affirmations, or maybe she has done a little bit of work to, those like a manifestation ritual of sorts. So maybe the law of assumption, the law of attraction, or maybe she has been like doing like, maybe watch videos on like do this to earn good luck in the year or something like that. I think Sana has been doing stuff like that in order to, I wouldn't say brainwash her, but like to motivate her to stay positive and be like, things are going to work out, things are going to be okay. We have donation, pray, and religion. So I do feel Sana is just connecting a lot to her intuition, and she's just trusting in her skills and her ability to complete whatever it is that she wants to complete and accomplish to whatever she wants to accomplish. But also I do feel that she is kind of just trusting in the process and just knowing that things will work out the way that they have to work out. So that makes me think that whenever there's an issue here, as we saw earlier, of like a hiccup or like a divine detour, so one of the people that will take it very well is going to be Sana. She's going to be like, okay, well, if that didn't work out, it didn't work out. Let's just move on. And that mentality will definitely help her to not feel stressed and overwhelmed and just kind of continue moving forward and just looking for better opportunities out there rather than lamenting over the fact that other stuff didn't work. Anyway, what's in store for Jihyo's career this 2025? We have relaxation. So it seems like Jihyo is going to be taking things slowly, very calm, very relaxed, taking her time with looking for opportunities, taking her time with completing her projects. She's doing stuff that she enjoys. She's doing stuff that she likes. She's not forcing herself to take on projects and activities that she doesn't enjoy, and because of that, she's going to have a very chill time this 2024. Oh my god, this 2025. You know what? Every time I mess up, that makes me think that whatever happened last year is just trickling down to this year for that person. So for Jihyo, what we saw her do in 2024, she's just going to continue doing this year. And the only reason why she's doing that is because it satisfies her, it's calming and relaxing to her, and it's not a burden in any way, shape, or form. So she's just going to continue doing that, right? Like if it's not broken, why fix it, right? Like if it works, there's no point in like changing anything. So with her, it's the same idea. It's like in her career, things are working out very well for her, and she feels very comfortable with how things are working in with a group, and because of that, she's not pressuring herself to change anything. It's like, okay, if it works and I'm happy with it, we can just continue at this pace doing these things. And I think Jihyo is just going to continue doing that. If anything, maybe she will work on her skills and get a little bit more knowledge to continue moving forward with her goals, or to just continue staying relaxed. Now, on to the next person. So, what's in store for Mina's career this 2025? So, we have luck, alliance, and promise. That is hilarious. The moment I saw the luck card, I was like, she's gonna get big bank this year. We love to see that. Get that fat wallet, as I said for the previous video I recorded. So since like Mia's gonna do well with her finances, and if not, she's going to feel very lucky. Like, I don't know, maybe she's going to win like a lottery of sorts. I'm not saying that she's going to win the lottery, unless I'm saying like if she had to, like, let's say she auditioned for something, or she put herself out there for a project, and it's like, okay, only a select candidate is going to be picked or whatever, then okay, she's gonna get picked. That's what I'm saying. Like, so whatever she wants to do, that she's like, okay, I really want this, and she kind of has to like audition for it or do something to like, there's a select few that are going to be picked for it. She's going to get picked because has quite a promising. Okay, she has the skills, or she has, let's say like only a few people get picked for like some fashion thing. Well, she has what the fashion people are looking for, and that's why she gets picked. So she has like the skills, or she has the material, I guess you could say, that people are looking for. And if not, all I'm saying is that she's also just very lucky because opportunities are coming to her way, and she's going to take full advantage of them. So what I mean by that with the alliance and promise is like she has a promising future ahead of her. And the alliance just makes me think that she has the networks and the connection to make things happen. So let's say some of the way that these opportunities could come through in her career is like someone, it's like, there's this project that I'm working on, and I'm looking for someone that has this, and this qualities. And someone within the staff or within the circles are going to be like, oh, I have the perfect person for what you're looking for. And boom, Mina gets the opportunity. So I do feel that this is one of the ways. You know what I just got? That she's harvesting her good karma or something like that. Also, with the promise, it makes me think of having like concrete, like having like stable contracts with people. So you know how I mentioned the whole thing about like fashion and like getting opportunities through that? I also have a feeling that, let's say that she has been like working with this brand for a while. Well, in 2025, it feels like she's going to have a bit more of a concrete, like, you're going to be our ambassador. Is that the word for it? Like, you're going to be the one representing us. You're going to be the face of our product. You're going to be the face of our brand. So I do feel that this 2025, either she's going to get a very good opportunity, like, oh, I've been wanting this for a very long time, and now it came through to be a bit more concrete, and like we're almost partners at this point. And if not, it's going to be like she's going to start working with a new brand or with a new project, and it goes well. It goes by so well that she creates such a strong and solid connection with this brand or this project that it just becomes like a concrete, a bit more of a solid, like, yes, we are working together type of thing. So I do feel that with the promise and the alliance, that shows like establishing stronger social bonds and having a bigger, more reliable and sturdy network as well. Now we're going on to the next person, which is Tahyun, to figure out what's in store for her career this 2025. So we have third wheel and a memory. Seems like she's going to be thinking about the past, maybe things that didn't work out, maybe things where she felt left out, or she felt like things were not clear. I guess the best way I can describe this is that Dahyun is going to be looking back into her memories, and just, when the nostalgia hits, she's going to be looking back and thinking of how she was wronged for some reason. And now when it comes to her career, maybe she's going to look back at like stuff and going to realize, like, wait a minute, they were like, this energy was not looking out for me. Like maybe these people or these projects were like putting me to the side or were not favorable to me. And I do feel that one of the reasons why she could be doing that is just going back to the previous energy we saw earlier of like growing, going through like this self-reflection mode, trying to understand themselves better, maybe even self-love and transformation, right? And so I do feel that this 2025, Dahyun is going to go through this transformation where she's going to start noticing, like, hold up, maybe I need to prioritize myself more, or maybe I need to look out for myself more, and maybe not rely so much on like maybe the company or other people. And what I'm saying this here is like, instead of like not leaving it completely to their hands for her opportunities to go through or for her work to go through. So I do feel that there might be a lot of times where she just accepts that whatever opportunities and offers a company tells her about are like everything that she has. And as she reflects, she's gonna be like, hold up, maybe was a bit suspicious. Maybe that was like, maybe there's more out there. So that just makes me think that she's going to start valuing herself more and noticing that she is capable of great things, and maybe noticing that by relying on other people or leaving it up to other people to kind of organize her schedule and her projects and all of that, just made it in such a way that she was being kind of put in the back burner or like put to the side, and in a way limiting her and putting her in a box where she couldn't grow as much and not reach that potential that she actually has. So I do feel that it's 2025. She's just going to be looking back at all the times that she was wronged, or all those times that her best interests were not put on the forefront, and realizing that she can do a better job for herself if she just kind of puts her foot down and goes like, this is what I want, and you're not gonna get in the way of that thing. Anyway, let's go on to the next person and figure out what's in store for Jaehyun's career this 2025. So it seems like there's a lot going on. It's only 4 cards. Okay. I was about to say, I don't want a lot of cards. So we have reservation, we have calm, origin, and family. They're all positive. We love to see it. So for Chaeyeon, it's this happened last year too? Because I know that last year when I was doing the group predictions, some groups had this, that the older members were going through it, and then the younger members were like completely fine. And that's kind of what I'm getting for twice. It's like the 3 oldest members were going through a rough time, and then the rest of them are, well, we'll see about Chui later, but the rest of the members are doing pretty well. I mean, maybe Dahyun is not doing that well, but with Dahyun, it's like this self-empowerment moment of like, I need to stand up for myself and look out for myself and my self-interest, and like, you're not holding me back. So I see that as a positive thing, even though, well, it's probably not a super positive feeling. So with Chaeyoung, now going to her, we have reservation, calm, origin, and family, which are extremely positive, as I was talking about before. The reservation card just makes me think that there is something that she really likes, probably a material item, like an object that she really likes, that she really loves and really takes care of, and I think it's going to be very apparent to the fans this 2025. It's going to be like, oh, she can't stop talking about that one thing that she bought herself, which could be a car, but it could also be a house, or it could just, I was actually thinking of a purse. I don't know if Chaeyoung is into purses or anything like that, but there's just something that is going to be like her comfort food. Even if it's not food, it's going to be like, this is what makes me happy, what makes me feel secure, and something that makes me go like, I did it, I made it. So something that will just symbolize her success, or will symbolize a sense of stability, and something that kind of helps her ground herself. I think she's gonna talk about it nonstop. And I think with the family, I don't know if maybe she bought, maybe, I don't know what's going on with Chaeyeon or how things are going with her, but maybe she bought a house for her family, and because of that she feels like she did it. Like, now she has been able to provide for them something that symbolizes a sense of security, a sense of support, a sense of union, a sense of companionship and alliance, something that just highlights her familial bonds and a sense of security and groundedness. And it could be, again, it could be an object, like, who knows, maybe her family actually gives her something that makes her go like, see, there's someone that cares about me, there's someone that's out there for me, there's someone that loves me, something along the line, something that just will become a reminder to her that she's not alone, a reminder that will help her calm down, bring herself back to her senses, and continue having a sense of harmony and balance. And yeah, the origin card also makes me think that something that will kind of help her ground herself, in order to create a strong enough foundation for her to just continue growing as an individual and as a person. Something that kind of helps her like reset her energy. And of course, that will be very beneficial to her career because not only will she not talk about it, she will talk about it nonstop to the fans. I also think that, of course, having a very healthy mindset will make it easier to just continue working. So those are the perks. Now, the last but not least, which is Chewy. What's in store for Chewy's career this 2025? Sure. So we have Fury, Self-Love, and Natural Disaster. So you know what this means? That this 2025 Chewy is going to have a lot of moments where things just don't work out. To me, the Natural Disaster card has just become the card of like expecting unexpected. It has become the and then we have Perseverance at the bottom. I'll take it out too. To me, the Natural Disaster card has also become the card where it's like anything that is outside of your control that goes wrong. So for Chewy, this 2025, she's going to encounter a lot of times where things just don't really work out for her, but it's not her fault. Things don't work out and it's just a mild annoyance for her. And it's just like, okay, the way that she will persevere when there's an issue like that, like things just don't work out or things did not happen as expected, or there's just a hiccup, or there's just like an issue that slows things down. The way that she's going to encounter like overcome something like that is by just going to her happy place, going in solitude, and just recenter herself and then continue persevering down that path. So we did talk about divine detours earlier that the group will encounter. So whenever something like that happens, like a project gets canceled or a project doesn't go through because they're understaffed, or things slow down because there's not enough resources or enough time, or like a prop falls apart or something along those lines, like something just doesn't work. For Chewy, instead of getting like super annoyed at things that are outside of her control, like she's not the one taking care of the props, she's not the one to set up the schedule. You know, those are things that she can't really control and that can happen to anyone and at any time. Those will be the times that she will just like sit down and either meditate, or she will just sit down. Who knows? Maybe even with Chaeyoung, they will both just kind of go like, let's take a deep breath, and then that's all she needs to kind of like recenter herself, reset, and be in this harmonious, balanced energy that helps her kind of just get rid of all that frustration, all of that stress, and just be able to continue moving forward with a completely different mindset. Which I do feel that the mentality that the young ones in Twice have is something that maybe they should push forward to the older members that are seeming to be very stressed this year. But aside from that, I'm glad everyone got something positive. Like, I'm telling you, if anything, I think Chewy would just complain and be very angry, be like, come on, just get your shit together. To like the situation itself, but I don't think she will get in trouble or make people uncomfortable, and she will be fine. Like, I don't think she's going to create like chaos in her life. I think she's just going to be like, this is so annoying. These mild inconveniences are kind of building up and they are getting to me. It's frustrating. So I think that's just kind of like the main thing here for 2025. Now, to close up this reading, let's go on to the last section, which is any advice or healing messages that have to go through for Twice for their 2025. Any advice or healing messages? So I'm going to take this too, and then I'll think about those later. So we have Cardinal Moon with Be Bold and Make the First Move. So again, we did talk earlier that maybe they have to be a bit of their feminine energy and take a step back. But again, taking that step back is not to be complacent. It's not to like just like stop taking action, or like not looking, like not pursuing their goals, but more is like, okay, just take a step back to see if there's a better way to approach those goals. Not do something that is straining them, or being something that is like pushing too hard to the point that it's going to be actually counterproductive when they're going through those goals. So I do feel that Be Bold and Make the First Move is like, yes, if there's an opportunity, take it, go for it. So that's the advice that the cards are giving them. But it's like, just don't, make sure that you don't do it at your expense. Make sure that you're not just pushing forward to make an opportunity. You know, when it's like this, like there's a card in the Prism Oracle that is frustration, and it shows the imagery of this rectangular prism on top of this surface that has a circular hole, and that just makes me think of like those, like, I don't know what they're called, but like that bots that babies have, where they have this different shapes and they have to fit it in the right, um I guess the right hole or whatever, right? So that makes me think that for the group is something similar. It's like instead of pushing forward to force an opportunity to work for you, it's like just take advantage of the opportunities that are meant for you. Something along those lines. Now the other card that we have here is a new moon in Virgo with a time to give rather than take. So I do feel that a time to give rather than take is like right now it will be better for them to organize themselves and you know what I'm getting? It's like the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Is like instead of putting a lot of external energy, look within you, nourish yourself, take care of yourself, be kind and understanding to yourself first, so like that you replenish the energy and become this overflowing cup of emotions that the Ace of Cups talks about, that will just naturally help or reach other people. So the best way I can describe this with this Virgo energy is like organize your thoughts, organize your schedule, set a routine that works for you. Make sure that you have a healthy mindset, a healthy life, a healthy time management, or healthy time. So like that you yourself are in such a good place that it becomes second nature to work with other people, that it doesn't become a burden, it doesn't feel overwhelming, and it doesn't feel like a task that is like you have to drag your feet to make it happen and continue with your responsibilities. So I do feel that with ties, the thing here is the whole idea of, if you want to succeed this year, don't push yourself to the point that you're just tiring yourself out, and instead make sure that they themselves are in a good enough place to be able to work with other people, or are in a good enough place to just concentrate on their work. Yeah, it's like they will tire themselves if they chase after opportunities that are not meant for them. And the best way that they can figure out that it's not meant for them is like, are they in a place that is uncomfortable? Do they have to go out of their way to make this happen? It's like there's a difference when you encounter a challenge and you overcome it by growing as a person. And then there's an other thing when you encounter a problem and you don't feel good and you're still pushing through despite that. Like there's a difference. I do feel that it just takes a while for people to learn what are their limits. And if the girls don't know that, then it will be quite challenging to differentiate when opportunity is for them and when it isn't. Now let's figure out any advice or healing messages. It's still a lot of cards. I guess we'll just take them. Okay, whatever. So we have new moon in Aries with it's time to take action. We have a time for healing with a balsamic moon. Let me put this one down here. And we have a new moon in Pisces with meditate and contemplate. So remember what Jaeyeon and Chui have been doing, which is like, let's take a deep breath and recenter. That's what the whole group should be doing, which I talked about earlier. By doing something like that, it will give them the ability to kind of calm their mind and like recenter themselves, regroup. Also, let me talk about this. So some of the signs that we have here is Leo, Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, Pisces, Virgo. So that makes me think that some of the important months for the group, Aries and Pisces are next to each other. So that's mid-February to mid-April. Virgo and Scorpio are cool. Okay, Scorpio's the outlier, because Leo and Virgo are also right next to each other. That is mid-July to mid-September. And then Scorpio is kind of like an outlier, and it's like mid-October to mid-November. So those months could be significant. So it's kind of like, it all comes in pairs. Like, so anyway, those seasons could be important for the group. Maybe stuff is happening then. That makes me think of like, maybe at the beginning of the year they were planning something, that they worked very hard in the summer, and then it pays off towards fall. That's 3 seasons. Okay. Now, with the new moon in Aries, we have it's time to take action. So again, that goes back to like what we saw with the cardinal moon, of like making the first move. It definitely feels like the girls do have to be proactive in approaching their goals, just that they have to know when to take action and when to hold back. So basically become that emperor energy in tarot. So the emperor is a sign that is like the accumulation of all the kings in tarot. It is supposed to be someone that has a calm mind and is able to have good enough judgment to make decisions. Someone that knows how to work with their heart and with their emotions. Someone that knows when to take action and how to follow after their passion, not in an impulsive or reckless way, but in a calculative way. And again, with that earth energy of someone that is very stable, someone that is able to analyze and actually take responsibility and plan things enough to take action in a very effective way. So that emperor is a calm energy. Sometimes the emperor is shown meditating, which we do see as like a very big message of like, look, if you sit down, take a deep breath, and relax, does not mean that you're lazy. It does not mean that you don't have what it takes to accomplish a goal. It just means that you need a break. And you need kind of like to reset and resettle. It's like this whole idea of like the group needs to understand that if they take some time to relax and they take a break to reset their energy, they will actually be a lot more effective when they take action. So there is this sense of like the importance or like the big lesson for the group is understanding that moments of pause are just as important as the moments where they take action. It's kind of like take a break to recenter your energy, and you're going to notice that you are going to take healthier and better action that will make the journey a lot easier than if they had never taken that break. So I do feel that consistency and routine are important because it's like you're constantly working towards your goal, and because of that you don't have like this time crunch of like now I have to do everything to make it happen. So the highs are not too highs and the lows are not too lows in the sense of work, the amount of work that they have to do. So being consistent and having this routine could definitely help them. So like that because if you have a routine and a schedule, you can also schedule breaks in between and rest. So I do feel that that's kind of like the biggest lesson that group has to learn this year, knowing that it's okay to slow down and it's okay to take that time for themselves, because that is also part of their growth, that is part of their journey, and that is a form of taking action. That's the best way I can describe that. Anyway, I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It feels like the group is not going to go through a super tough time. Like the biggest issue seems to be more of like a personal way of thinking and of taking action rather than like a bunch of obstacles going externally. Because look, okay, we did talk earlier that there might be a lot of divine interventions, a lot of the divine detours that the group is going to go through. So it's kind of like destiny and fate like have a hand and go like, no, we're not gonna make this happen because there's something better out there, or better and out there for you, or we're not going to make this happen because this opportunity is not what you think. It's actually not as beautiful or as positive as you want it to be. So I do feel that yes, there are going to be issues like those, but it's not going to be anything that will hurt them as a group, as individuals. Like it's just going to be kind of like, okay, everyone tough it out, we have to go through this, but not necessarily anything that will actually make them feel bad and will kind of like destroy their self-esteem or destroy their reputation. It's nothing that detrimental. It's just a big transformation, and this big transformation that they're going through is a change of mentality, and that change of mentality is going to be quite tough because some of them are probably don't even notice that they do this to themselves, of like overworking themselves. Maybe it's like they have been in this pace of doing so much constantly all the time that when they have a bit of a break, they're like, I'm actually a bit uncomfortable that I have nothing to do. So I do feel that that's kind of like what they have to learn, that breaks are important. They're significant, and taking a break doesn't mean that they're lazy, and taking a break doesn't mean that they're not going towards their goal. Taking a break is part of the process and part of the journey. And I think that's the biggest lesson that the group just has to learn as a group and as individuals. So yeah, that's the main thing. But as I mentioned, I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do look forward to what the group has to offer, especially when it comes to music. Like, Samuel has been taking some good music. Some of the... Oh my god, isn't there rumors that Chaeyoung's gonna take something out? I look forward to that. Well, anyone else that's gonna take a solo, I'm out for it. I want to see what they're up to. I want to see what sound they go for or what concept they go for or whatever. And if it's true that Twice is going to have a tour and they come to Chicago, pray for my wallet so we can go see them. We mean my sisters and I. Um, you know, pray 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 for my fat wallet as I celebrated Minos. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Once again, I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it, find it entertaining, and if not, at least learn from it. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown me and the channel. And I think that's it. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye. Well, maybe you can't see it, but I'm making my penguin do the wave as we wait for the ambulance to pass by. Okay, oh, whoops, I moved the cards!